Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Richard Kellam. He is the president and CEO of DATA Communications Management. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you: DCM on the TSX and DCMDF on the OTCQX. And DATA Communications Management will be presenting at our upcoming in-person investor conference, the Planet MicroCap Showcase Vancouver, happening September 6th and 7th, 2023. For more information, see Richard present, potentially meet with him one-on-one, please go to planetmicrocapshowcase.com. And with that, Richard, thank you for joining me today. How you doing?
Doing great, thanks. Appreciate it. How you doing, Robert?
Well, just gearing up for the Dog and Pony Show. I can't be having as much fun as you guys are having. That wouldn't be fair. But with that, like I said, it's been last time we put out that interview was February 28th, 2023. The company just announced the acquisition of our Donnelly's Canada operations. Get into all that, but first, for anybody that hasn't heard any of our interviews before or see you present, give us that quick overview of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so Data Communications Management, we're in the, obviously, as per the title, communications management field. We do a lot of kind of workflow optimization for large enterprise clients. We like to say the larger and more complicated the client, the more value we can bring to them in their communications workflow. Been around for 65 years. Post the acquisition of Donnelly Canada, we're just north of 530 million in revenue. So a sizable organization in this space.
Very good. All right, so let's get in that update. I think obviously the two main things we're going to be talking about today is the integration, how that's going, and then the company, we're recording this on Monday, August 14, 2023. Company just put out your Q2. So integration, Q2, let it rip.
Okay, so integration, last time we talked was in February when we announced the deal. We actually closed the deal on the 24th of April, so we're just over 100 days into post-acquisition now. So into integration, four kind of areas that we're focusing on: operation, organization, procurement, and revenue synergies. We put a number to the street of 25 to 30 million. Remind shareholders or listeners that we actually used Boston Consulting Group to help us in the pre-merger due diligence process. So we were very well planned 100 days ago when we closed this deal, and we've been executing against the plan. So that 25 to 30 million is a real number. In fact, we're probably going to be to the high side of that number. Some good progress on procurement out of the gate, some very good progress on revenue. In fact, our revenue numbers were plus 75%, obviously, with the integration of MCC or R.R. Donnelly. We call it More Canada Corp. That's the legal entity that we acquired, by the way. If you hear me using two different acronyms, RRD and MCC, that's the explanation why. Underlying business, 8.2% growth on a year-to-date basis. So very, solid kind of revenue growth for the first half, and delivering some solid kind of revenue wins and revenue synergies. Good progress on procurement, a great start on operation. We announced the closure of a couple of facilities a few weeks ago, and lots of work happening on the organization side as well. We've already secured 4.3 million in synergies. So about 15% of the 30 mil has already been kind of secured, but the teams are off to incredible start, right? Really executing well against a very detailed plan. So lots of work already done, and lots of work to do, kind of over the course of this year and into next year. But a good start.
Absolutely. And one quick follow-up to integration plans. I mean, what is there a target date where you expect everything to be fully done? Or, with these things, I know it's always a work in progress. You're always figuring out stuff. Of course, things come up, whatnot. But, close to just fully executing, okay, plan done. Now we're on to the next thing.
Yeah, I know. Great question, Robert. So the four areas I talked about, certainly organization will move faster than operation. And what I'm talking about organization, right, is, consolidating our sales teams, our finance teams, our HR teams, all of our functional teams. That'll all happen within this year for the most part. So within this fiscal year or this calendar year. On the operations side, obviously, if we're talking about closing facilities and moving equipment around between our network, that takes a little bit longer because we need to protect our client service and protect that client product. So that'll all happen. Some is already happening this year. The facility in Edmonton will close and be consolidated to our Calgary plant. That will happen by year end. We announced the closure of Fergus. That will still to be determined, but that's going to happen, sometime next year or possibly early into 2025. So that's a bit of a moving target because again, we've got to protect customer service and but by the end of 2024 or certainly early 2025, all of the kind of operation work will be complete, and much of the procurement opportunities, or many of the procurement opportunities rather, have already been secured. Many will be secured in the second half of this year, and then revenue synergies are constant, right? That's about driving our revenue growth and making sure we're expanding our business, not contracting our business.
Absolutely. All right. Well, look, I'm sure there's a lot more we could probably get into, but we're keeping it a little tight today, and plus, it's a little so people can come to Vancouver. They want to hear more, of course. So to close us out here today, I mean, from what you can tell, actually, instead of that, because you kind of already talked about where we're going or where the company's going, what some of your goals are for the rest of this year going into 2024. Is there any macro trends that folks should be aware of or think about when maybe data communication management comes up? All right, this macro trend comes in, like, does data communication, do they seek to benefit? Is this potential harm?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to cover there?
Yeah, no, listen, I think a lot of people look at this industry, and when I say this industry, the communication industry, especially the print side of it, some people think, or a lot of people think, that print is dead. I can tell you that print is not dead. It's just north of a $10 billion market in Canada. And depending on what profit pool you look at or what data you look at, it's growing, between 2 and 3%. So it's still a sizable market. We're 535 million of a $10 billion market. So lots of opportunities for us to expand. So we look at the market as a sizable market for us. We're not getting really a lot of sort of economic headwinds, or not experiencing any economic headwinds at this point. We because we're a company that helps large enterprises simplify their workflows, simplify complexity, and take waste out. Even if there are some headwinds, some economic headwinds, we actually benefit from that because we're there as an alternative provider that can help them take waste out. And we like to say, do more with less, right? Do more with the same budget. So we certainly see opportunities there, but no macroeconomic impact from what we're experiencing or what we're forecasting in the future.
Very good. All right. So I think that's a good place to end it. Richard, where can our audience go and find more information on the company?
Best place would be our DataCM, so DATACM.com. And there's an investor relations link in there, and you'll get anything you need. And I've got James and my contact in there as well. So feel free to give us a call, give us a mail, and always happy to connect with any interested parties.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that, Richard, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I'll see you and James. Hi, James, in Vancouver.
That's for me. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you in Vancouver.
Look forward to it, Robert.
See you guys.
Thank you.